Hey everybody! I am so happy because I have a very special guest on tonight, Boris from EVOLVh Hair Care. And hi, Boris. Say hello to everybody.
Hi, everyone. So thrilled to be here with you. And so, of course, thrilled to be here with you, Sophie, and your amazing audience.
Great, great. So,
It's an
we're
honor.
going to be talking tonight hair, right? Boris and I just now were both going, I was like, does my hair look okay? And Boris was like, does my hair look okay? So, we're going to be talking about hair. We're going to be talking about hair care. And, honestly, hair care is very important to women and men in my community because it just is, isn't it? I mean, if you have a bad hair day, if your hair's thinning, falling out, looking weird, whatever. Hi, everybody. It doesn't, it definitely has an effect. So I'm all for how do we have, a beautiful head of thick, healthy, really healthy looking hair. Boris, as you know, most of the women in my community are sort of over 40, most of the men and women. That's a time often when, we face challenges with our hair and, all of that. So I'm all about how can we get the best, beautiful, thickest hair? So Boris, first off, it all starts, hi Cheryl, hi Pam, all the gang. So first off, it all starts really truly, as you know, Boris and I go back a little way. I'm going to explain to you how we met and how we know each other. But Boris, it all starts with from the inside out. So, as a nutritionist, it is all about what you eat. And what I will say is that ladies, since eating the way that I've been eating for the last 10 years, and I'm now sort of 56, I was going to sort of 56, I am 56, I'm proud to be so. My hair has never been healthier, thicker, and everything else. And I attribute this partly to 100% to what I eat. But I also do attribute it to using really great skincare, hair care. Actually, I just was, that's so great. Kathy, somebody here just said, one of our lovely community members, Kathy said, love EVOLVh, healthy in my shower right now. So
that's awesome.
Hair care is fun. So we're really going to get in tonight to the mechanics of hair care. Now, Boris, I just want to back up a little bit and explain how we met, how I found you, and then I've got some great questions for you, and then we're going to get into it. Ladies and gents.
Love it.
If you have any questions, you have the master, literally the master of hair care and styling and hair care products, literally here to ask questions to. So Catherine's going to be fielding questions. So do feel free, because this is a golden opportunity for you to speak to somebody who really knows, and I'll explain to you why Boris knows. But first off, I want to explain, Boris, how we met. So Boris and I discovered EVOLVh a while ago, a good few years ago. I'm going to say 4 or so years ago, Boris, maybe. Would that be correct somewhere?
That sounds about right, yeah.
Right, when it was sort of beginning. And I came across this brand in a little store, and I sort of looked into it, and I looked at the ingredients, and it looked to me, now, everybody realize that since I wrote my first book, Gorgeously Green, eons ago, well over a decade ago, and shampoo was the hardest thing, good hair care was the hardest thing to find in the natural space, because almost every brand in the health food stores would leave my hair feeling like straw. So I've always been on a mission to buy really great hair care brands. So I was very interested. Found EVOLVh, thought, had a little of the sample bottles, tried it. I was like, this is really, really fantastic. Plus all the ingredients met my criteria, which is I didn't want to have, the perfumes, the preservatives, anything that could disrupt my endocrine system, which you have to be really, really careful, ladies and gents, because anything that we put, shampoo we use a lot, conditioner, everything, these products every single day, some of us sit in your shower, it can be incredibly deleterious. It's called xenoestrogen. So I always look just backing up for products that aren't. So EVOLVh, totally clean hair care line. Found it. Then I reached out to Boris, and I was doing an event. I'm going to shut up in a minute with a very long introduction here, but I was doing an event in Los Angeles. And Boris and I connected, and I said, Boris, why don't you come to the event I'd love to meet you. And we're going to talk hair. I want to do a whole thing about hair, because we had a whole thing about skincare products and beauty and, you know, days on food and nutrition, which is my thing. And so Boris came, and Boris blew everybody out of the water. He was amazing. Everybody, it was like just, you know, crowding the stage afterwards, going, oh my God, asking questions, and oh my gosh, Boris, and blah, 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 you know, everything. And I think the reason being that Boris is not only the CEO and the co-founder of EVOLVh, but what I found in my conversations prior, and as I got to know you, Boris, was that Boris knows what's behind the curtain of the hair care industry, because you've been in the hair product industry for years. So I'm going to shut up now. I'm handing the mic over to you. Tell your story and what is behind EVOLVh and why you created it, please.
Sure. Well, Sophie, thank you so much for this amazing introduction, and you're so kind. And I had such an amazing time at that event with you and everybody else who was there. It was really I'll never forget that day. It was truly, truly so special. And thank you again for inviting me here tonight to share. I know a lot of your audience already use our products, so just very thankful to everyone out there who's already an EVOLVh user, lover. We so appreciate you so much. And kind of how I got into this business was it really started with my mom, believe it or not, because she opened up. My mom does hair, and well, she's retired now, but she did hair, and she opened up a hair salon when I was 12. So I pretty much more or less grew up in a hair salon, and my first childhood sort of dream was to be old enough to be able to work at the salon on Saturdays, to be able to go sweep hair. That's all I wanted to do, was to be a professional hair sweeper. Yeah. And eventually I was able to do that, and then I became a receptionist at the front desk, and eventually ended up running the business for a number of years. So I pretty much grew up in and around hairdressing and hair care. And in this process, I really began to observe just how important product is to taking care of our hair and to the craft of hairdressing. If you really look at what happens when you're at a hair salon, you'll notice that there isn't a single hairdresser who doesn't have a bunch of products on their station. And there's a reason for that. If they were able to work with your hair effectively without it, they certainly would. So product plays a huge part in being able to take care of our hair. And as I began to look at it further, I eventually began to look at what the products were actually made of. And another influence that my mom had on me when I was a kid was she was one of these moms that did all of our kind of shopping for treats at a health food store. So if you remember, this is kind of like, just going to date me a little bit, but sort of like before even Whole Foods, kind of like the neighborhood health food store that had the carob instead of chocolate, and the little sesame candies, you know, they're kind of mixed with honey. You know, I just wanted Twinkies and Ho-Hos, but instead I got stuck with all of this healthy stuff. And then next to my cereal would always be a pile of food supplements. And so I kind of grew up very conscious of what I was eating, what I was putting in my body. So eventually I started looking at the ingredients in our hair care products that we were selling at the salon. And I was just kind of like, whoa, there's a lot of stuff in here that I'm not sure is so good for us. So I began kind of becoming very curious about formulation and whether it was possible to create very high performing products using more natural, more green ingredients. You know, at that time when I was first looking at this is around 2007, 2008, 2009. We didn't even have the word clean yet in the beauty business or the beauty industry. So we were really just talking about green, natural. And so I began to wonder if it was possible to create high performance products without all the chemicals that you may not want to have in your products, as far as what touches your skin, your face, etc. And so I was fortunate enough to meet an incredible chemist, one of the real iconic formulators in professional hair care. And when I met him, his name is Gary, he had transitioned to working with only organics and naturals in his formulas. And that really intrigued me. And he offered to work with me if I was interested in perhaps creating a brand. And I just couldn't say no to that opportunity because I really saw a need for creating products made with more healthful ingredients and still delivering great performance. So that's kind of how the journey began. And then what I learned in the process is you don't really need the vast majority of the ingredients you might find when you look at your hair care ingredients label to really create great results, especially from the perspective of healthy hair. Because hair is very similar to our skin and the rest of our body, and hair in particular is really primarily protein. And if you can strengthen the hair and feed the hair with just the right nutrients, you can actually have a profound impact on the actual hair texture, the actual hair fiber. And that's why when people start using their products, it's pretty common. If you go into our reviews, you can find these comments where people will write in, primarily women, and they'll write in and they'll say, hey, dear EVOLVh, I'm 60 something years old and I've been using your products for X amount of time and my hair feels like it did when I was 22 or 25 or 18. And we get this all the time. And that's because you really can alter the way your hair feels, not just looks, but it's really more about how it actually feels to the touch that will tell you how healthy it is. And when I look at your hair, Sophie, I mean, it looks like the hair of a 25-year-old.
Well,
it really does.
I will so take that.
Yes, and I'm gonna just speak to something. So I'm probably gonna go off script and off schedule here, but Catherine, the amazing Catherine from your team she sent me a few questions in advance, and there was one question that really caught my eye out of all the questions, which was, can you debunk a hair myth?
That's
right. Yeah, and I really love that one, and especially for today's live. And the myth I would like to debunk most is when we're told that as we age, we can't wear our hair long anymore, and we're supposed to wear it shorter because it's just not going to look good. And this is just such, I'm going to stick with polite language. It's just
bullshit.
Just not true. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to say something else, but no. But really, you can have longer hair at any age if you just care for your hair in a similar way that you might care for your skin, and that's really the secret. And we'll talk about that more as we go further along in talking about the products. But that's really the biggest promise that we provide as a brand in terms of what our products do, is really making your hair look and feel the same way it did when you were much younger. Because when we were much younger, the hair just is sort of naturally healthy. And as we get older, the texture does change, but there's a way through the right use of the right products that you could actually reverse that and get that much more youthful feeling and texture back. So that was the one myth I really wanted to address tonight. Yeah.
I'm so glad that you addressed that, because I actually do enjoy having longer hair, and I have no intention of cutting it off anytime soon. But it is, you're absolutely right that it is the texture, isn't it? Because I think that you can have whatever the color is, the shade you choose to have your hair, or the cut. It really, truly, I think you and I have talked about this before, Boris. It really is the texture. By the way, for anyone who's just joined us and hopped onto this live, I'm here with Boris, who is the co-founder and the CEO of EVOLVh Haircare. It is a wonderful hair care line. I discovered it a few years ago. I am really taken with Boris's philosophy, both from a natural, green, clean perspective, but also from a performance perspective. Because quite seriously, as I was saying before, it's hard. If I had just had to cope with some of the things at the health food store, it really wouldn't have, I would not be able to maintain the kind of texture of hair that I want. So we're going to be, Boris is going to be showing some of his products, and stay on, everybody, because Boris is very generously extending a 20% off discount coupon for us all, just for a very short amount of time, I think until the end of the day on Wednesday. And so stay on, because Boris is going to show some of the products, some of the extraordinary products. They've got a lot of new products. It started with a very small line. It's really expanded. There's some products you're really going to want to hear about tonight. Boris is going to show them, and then we're going to just talk about that discount. So don't leave before we get to that.
The best part's always at the end.
Oh, the good stuff's always at the end. Let me, yes, Debbie says, love the leave-in conditioner spray. So what I want to, and Catherine has, by the way, Catherine has put in the link for all of you. You can literally start shopping now. So given the community a huge gift, use the code SophieLove. Catherine's put it in there, all caps, Sophie Love, to get 20% off site-wide. And then Catherine's put in the link. But you are going to want to know about some of the products, some of the new products. And so we're going to get into that in just a moment. But what I wanted to ask you is, what separates EVOLVh from both the drugstore brands and the high-end salon brands? What makes you different?
Great question. And what really makes our products different is the way we work with very specific amino and fatty acids in the formula. And because that's really the secret sauce of helping alter the texture of hair. So with the drugstore brands, you're just not going to find these ingredients in there hardly at all, because they're difficult to work with and they tend to be too expensive to be in drugstore products. And with even more expensive brands, they usually focus more on using ingredients that are topical in nature. It's kind of like the difference between makeup and skincare. So we really focus on ingredients that can get past that outer layer of your hair fiber. So if you were to look at your hair under a microscope, the outer layer is called the cuticle, and it almost, under a very high-powered microscope, it almost looks like fish scales. And then underneath it is the cortex and the various fibers that make up each hair strand, and that looks more like rope. And what we're trying to do is to get past the cuticle and get very specific amino and fatty acids to get deep inside each fiber, because they will find their way to the parts of the fiber that need either one or the other or both. So what amino acids do is they strengthen the hair. So this is what results in your hair not breaking or splitting as easily. So very common feedback that we get from users is, wow, as soon as I started using your shampoo and conditioner, and specifically our conditioner, the breakage just went away. And it's because it's going to repair and strengthen the hair so much. And then the fatty acids, that's what lubricates the strands to make them much more elastic. And that's what gives hair that bounce and that springiness. And also that's what alters the texture from being like, yeah, there you go. Exactly. The proof is in the pudding, as they say, right? So when you have that right combination of amino acids and fatty acids, that's really the secret. And our chemist Gary is pretty much the preeminent expert / guru of this. He's been perfecting this for well over 30 years. So this didn't kind of happen overnight. And really, what's in the bottle is some serious science and years of product evolution and development and testing. And then the other key is to avoid ingredients that will coat the outer layer of the hair, which makes it really difficult for other things to get in. The most notorious culprit of making it difficult to nourish your hair from the inside out is an ingredient called panthenol, or you may even see it listed in your ingredients list of your product as vitamin B5. But panthenol is basically a coating agent. It's a surface level moisturizer that feels really great to the touch initially. Gives your hair a lot of slip, a lot of kind of like, I call it pseudo silkiness, but it suffocates the strands and makes it really difficult to feed the hair. And it's actually what Pantene is named after. So Pantene, the name, was named after panthenol. And I'm not here trying to pick on Pantene, but this is why initially with Pantene, your hair feels so good. And then eventually it feels so bad because it really makes it hard to get anything inside the strand once panthenol is on your hair. And silicones do something similar. So silicones by themselves aren't, horribly unhealthy ingredients per se, but it's really what they do to the fiber that's so bad, because they make it much more difficult to get other nutrients in. So if you could avoid panthenol and silicone in your products, that's kind of step one. But that's really, back to your question of what makes our products so unique, is we avoid the coating ingredients completely. And that's actually why when you use our conditioner, that's the biggest thing that it takes a little getting used to, because when you apply our conditioner, it kind of feels like it's disappearing, right? And what's really happening is it's totally absorbing into your hair. So if you look at other conditioners, almost any other brand, you'll notice that most of the product just stays on the top of your hair and ends up on your body, on your shower floor. If you apply a conditioner, if you just take a comb, a wide tooth comb, and run it through your hair, most of the product will be on the comb.
Yeah.
Whereas with an EVOLVh conditioner, it's going to be all in your hair, and there's going to be almost nothing on the comb. And that's really the biggest difference with our products, is they're designed to penetrate every strand and deliver those unique fatty and amino acids to where they're needed. And that just changes everything.
Wow, that's amazing. I remember you saying, Boris, that, most hair, I'll never forget, you said this, you said most hair care lines have a clarifying shampoo, and they need to have a clarifying shampoo because of everything that you've just said, because I guess the panthenol and or the silicones coat the hair, make it feel like you've got this kind of, silkiness or whatever for 5 moments, but then you get this really bad buildup.
Yeah.
So if you get that buildup time, you're going to need to do a clarifying shampoo.
Exactly. And that's why sometimes, and you can, like, if you color your hair in a salon or with a professional hairdresser or colorist, you can ask them about their clients who overuse Pantene, because they can barely color their hair. The hair is so coated that it's difficult to get the color pigment into the hair to color it. And so, and that is where clarifying shampoos come from. It's also where another sort of, like, I guess maybe it's not a myth, but it's sort of a myth, where people say, oh, you need to rotate your shampoos because your hair gets so used to it. But actually what happens is your hair gets so much buildup, you need to rotate to something that will clarify your hair.
Your hair used to it.
Yeah. So if you use the right shampoo, you'll never have to rotate it. So So the thing with our products that I always tell people is, they're going to become your hair's best friend, and for most people, it's so hard to go back to anything else. And really, the biggest challenge we have sometimes is people find that there's so little delta, so little difference between hair care brands, products. They all kind of more or less look and feel the same. So it's really hard to find something that's truly different. And that's what you get with EVOLVh. As soon as you touch it, you just go, whoa, this is definitely different. I don't know if I'm going to like it yet, but it's different. And then once you use it and you see the results, and you say, okay, now I see what all the hype is about. And so
great.
I hope I'm answering that question well.
No, you did. You answered the question.
Okay.
So, Boris, we have so many different questions. So I'm going to bust
these
questions. But before we do, one thing I want to know is, what is a good basic routine for somebody to start with when using EVOLVh products? And have you got products that you can show us?
Yeah. So if you go, the basic routine is what we call our 3-step system to healthy hair. And that's basically our shampoo, followed by our conditioner. So we call it cleanse, treat, protect. So it's our shampoo, which is step 1, which is cleanse your hair with one of our shampoos, then treat your hair with one of our conditioners. And then the 3rd step is the protect step, which is a leave-in conditioner, which I'll show you here. This one's the Smart Start. And this, I really call this the magic move. This 3rd step is so vital. It's kind of not exactly the same, but similar to learning to use a toner, or now we call it an essence in your skincare routine, where we all kind of start off with a cleanser and a moisturizer. And then one day someone tells us about toning, and we're wondering, what the heck is that? And then once you start doing it, you understand, I see, this is why my skin needs it. So what this does, this spray you use after you condition your hair, and you could use this either while you're still in the shower, while your hair is completely wet, or you could apply it to hair after you've towel dried it. But what this will do, the first thing it will do is it will rebalance your hair's pH after washing. And this is super important because our shower water tends to be alkaline, and alkalinity is great inside the body, but it's terrible on your hair. Because what it does is it causes that outer layer of hair that I talked about earlier, the cuticle. Alkalinity will cause the cuticle to raise. This causes the hair to tangle much more easily because it catches on itself, and that's what leads to a lot of breakage and splitting. It also makes hair look dull because it can't reflect light as easily. So when you spray it with something acidic, it's why people like to use apple cider vinegar on their hair, is it will seal the cuticle, making the hair perfectly smooth, and now it's protected from splitting, from breaking, and also going to have a lot more natural shine. So that's the first reason that you need this. The second is it's loaded with additional fatty acid, and in particular, we use something in this product called raw lecithin, which is another source of very specific fatty acids that are like literally near miraculous for what they do to your hair. And it just adds so much smoothness and shine. And this is the product that will absolutely change your hair life forever. And now we actually have 4 versions of this, but if you're not sure where to start, literally start with
so Boris, hold that up to the camera.
Yes, there it is. Boom.
Let's keep it still there. Right, everyone, see, it's called Smart Start Leave-In Conditioner. Remember, Catherine's going to pop in a link right now again where you can get, remember, just until Wednesday, end of day Wednesday, you get 20% off site-wide using the code Sophie Love. And Catherine's going to pop that in.
Yay.
Now, it comes...
And by the way, I just want to mention that, like, for us, like, we want everyone to have this product because we just want to change your life. We don't want to just sell you a shampoo or a conditioner. We literally want to have that level of impact with these products. But I'm sorry, Sophie, you were saying.
No, and it's true. And look, not only are you can see Boris's excitement about these products because they are fantastic and they really, really work beautifully for the health of your hair, but also from my point of view, I'm like, this is fantastic that we've got something that is not going to harm our health or be deleterious to our health. It doesn't have the xenoestrogens in, and that's so important. So Boris, let me ask you, with the Smart Start, and I saw Teresa actually had a little question I caught. Does it come for different hair types, or is there just one?
Yes. So I mentioned we now have 4 versions of it. I do want to say that this version that I'm holding now is incredibly universal. It'll work for absolutely everyone. And then we created 3 other versions that are like more specialized. So I'll speak to all of them, but just, I like to remove confusion. And so sometimes everything's a double-edged sword. So sometimes when you have too many choices, you get a little paralyzed. You're not sure what to purchase. So if you're new to EVOLVh, you could, we call it Smart Start because it is the smartest way to get started, not just with our products, but every day or however often you wash your hair, when you come out of the shower, it's the most important, smartest decision you can make is to apply this to your hair right after showering. But maybe what I'll speak to really quickly. So we have these 3-step systems we put together. And our most core one is called our 3-step system for healthy hair. Maybe Catherine can put the link up to it. And basically it's our shampoo, our Ultra Shine shampoo, Ultra Shine conditioner, and the Smart Start spray. If you buy them individually, it's $82. We package them together in this really cool looking kit for only $69. So it's a big savings. Plus you can now use your 20% off coupon, and it's going to bring the price to under 60, like 50 something dollars for 3 full-size, unbelievable, life-changing products. So that is probably the deal of the day.
That's called the Smart Start, right?
The spray is the Smart Start, but you're going to find it inside of our healthy.
Catherine, would you pop in the link for the what is the kit that you talked about? What is that?
Yeah. So Catherine, if you go to our shop menu and then look under, probably it's under trios. There's a little tab called trios, and then just pick the first one that's 69. And if you could put a link up to that, that would be amazing.
She's already done it. There you go. So that's
Bravo.
So and I just seen Mary has a question saying she has allergies to lavender oil, and I see this is in the Smart Start. Is there another one you could recommend?
I'd have to double check. So she can look at. Does she? What type of? Does she have? Does her hair crave volume, or does she have very thick
All right,
hair?
Mary. So are you looking for volume, or what are you looking for?
More,
what are you looking
yeah.
for? What problem are we looking to solve, Mary? And while she's answering, I'm going to just quickly get in, and I'm going to do some quick fire questions, if that's okay.
Absolutely, sure.
Okay, here we go. Does EVOLVh ship to Canada?
Yes.
Oh my God, thank you.
Well, I'm probably jumping the gun. We do, but if you're in Canada, well, if you want to use Sophie's code, you have to shop our site. It's free shipping, but it's $250 for free shipping to Canada because it's so expensive to ship there.
Yeah.
So if you would like our products, one of our partners there is called the Detox Market, one of the best places on earth to buy non-toxic beauty.
Right.
And the other that we would recommend is well.ca. And you can also find a few others. The Green Jungle shop is amazing, and also Bossity. So we have about 4 incredible online partners in Canada. If you go to evolve.com and look under, I think, find us in the navigation up top, you'll see a link to all of the partners.
Beautiful.
You'll get free shipping. If you're in Canada, I suggest shopping with any of our Canadian partners.
That's wonderful, wonderful. Now, so go to the Detox Market. That's a really good call if you live in Canada. Okay, so Teresa says 2 questions. So I know Teresa, and Teresa has this beautiful curly hair. So she has 2 questions. One, is there a line specifically that she should be using for her beautiful curly hair? And the other question says, she said, is she doesn't see where to type in Sophie Love. So has anybody else had this problem? Will a couple of you go to the site and just see if anybody else has a confusion for that? Let's get this ironed out. But while we're ironing this out, I would imagine it's probably in checkout, isn't it? It's
in checkout. Yeah, you'll see it in checkout, and maybe Catherine can post a screenshot if possible, or maybe I think once you go to checkout, you'll find the spot for where to put the code in. Yeah.
Thank you. So Teresa and Angie says she has fine curly hair. Which do you recommend? And Teresa has thick curly hair.
Yeah, if you have thick curly hair, I think you will really love our Smart Curl range. And we have a Healthy Curls Trio, which contains our Smart Curl Wash, Smart Curl Conditioner, and Smart Curl Leave-In Spray. And the main difference between Smart Curl and our Ultra Shine collection or the classic 3-step system is it just packs more moisture, because when you have thicker, coarser, curly hair, it tends to be more thirsty, and it just needs a little bit more richness to kind of tame the hair. But if you have fine curly hair, our classic Healthy Hair Trio is an amazing place to start, and you'll have the best of both worlds. You know, when I say best of both worlds, you'll have volume, but also you'll have ingredients that help remove frizz, because for people who are curly, frizz is usually the #1 biggest concern, and it's an amazing part of our formulation as far as our ability to remove frizz. So so if you have fine hair, stick with the classic Healthy Hair Trio, and if you have curly hair, go with the Healthy Curls Trio. And the Curls Trio is going to be a beautiful blue box in the trio section, and the classic system is a beautiful teal green.
Beautiful. So Teresa, there you are. And she has the most beautiful hair, Teresa. So you're going to.
That's awesome. That's so great.
And we're cruelty-free, completely cruelty-free. Yeah. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I know that's very important. Obviously, to me, it's really important, Teresa. So, you know, you're good, Teresa, on all counts, on it just being green, healthy, cruelty-free, the whole 9 yards. Another question. What EVOLVh products nourish and soften brittle gray hair? We've had a lot of questions about.
Yes. All of our conditioners will do exactly that. That's what gives that change in texture is what we're known for. So basically, if you combine any of our conditioners plus use the leave-in spray afterwards, you are going to be in heaven. It's really probably the best line on earth right now, I would say if you have grays and you want them to be much softer. Again, if you're looking for that change in texture to back to how your hair felt when you were younger, that's really probably the thing that we're known for the most.
Okay, great. Next question. I'm a level 10 treated blonde. I try to avoid hair dryers and daily shampooing. Any tips on a good washing schedule to maintain healthy ends and growth?
Yeah, well, if you can wash a little less frequently, that's always going to help. And I think a couple of tips I'll give. Some of this you may already know, but we always say cleanse the scalp and condition the hair. So when you are washing your hair, just remember to focus most of your shampooing energy on cleansing, deep massaging the scalp. That is actually what's most important. And then just let the water take the product, to take the shampoo through your hair. You don't have to scrub your hair basically. And that is tip number one. The other part is if you want to extend time between washes, a lot of times the issue is our hair starts to feel a little oily, a little greasy, and we don't know how to extend the life between shampoos. So we have a couple of new products that do exactly that.
Ooh.
So this past year we launched something called InstaVolume, and I actually have it here. So it's a two-step system. So there's step one, and this is a cleansing treatment, and then step two is a volumizing elixir. So these two products are great if you have fine hair and you don't feel like you need a lot of moisture. They will absolutely extend the life or the time you need between washes. So you might give that a try, and we now have them both available in, well, I think we either have them available now or soon in just 2-ounce sizes if you want to try them in a travel size. But also, we recently launched a product that's quickly becoming an absolute superstar in our range, and I have it here to show you, called our InstaVolume Mousse. And the mousse is, I remember mousses from when I was a kid, and now they are so back. And I really think this is the greatest mousse of all time. I'm not exaggerating. It is so amazing. And I'll share with you why it's so good. Is this a good time for me to chat about the mousse, Sophie? Or,
all ears, because I've not tried the mousse.
Yeah, this is brand new. We need to send this to you. It's insane. So basically, what's so special about this mousse? One, is for any hair type. So if you have any hair, whatever type of hair you have, you can use this. What makes a mousse so special is, or if you ever wonder, like, why did we even invent mousses? It's because a mousse or a foam is a very unique delivery mechanism for delivering a product onto your hair, because it allows for completely saturating every strand with the product. So it's very difficult to get that level of saturation with a spray or with a cream or a lotion. So a foam will literally distribute itself much more easily across every strand. And then what's so special about this mousse is it's loaded with tapioca starch. And tapioca starch is like such a godsend to natural hair care, because it allows us to create volume without drying out the hair. And also, it's amazing for absorbing excess unnecessary oils. So you're able to go 2, 3, even sometimes 4 days between washing and not look oily if you tend to lean that direction. So it's amazing.
So really, this mousse is, what is so great about this mousse is that, there was a question that one lady said, which is so perfect for her. She was like, oh, that's right, Miss Sunrise. She said on YouTube, she said, I wonder if he's talked about dry shampoo. I don't like the aerosol kind, but the powder ones are tricky with dark hair. And so would this be the solution, that instead of going for a dry shampoo to keep your, so that you can keep going for a few days if you tend to get, would you use instead?
Yes, that's exactly right. You could use this instead. I'm discovering that I can use the foam on dry hair, and it just rejuvenates it. It removes a lot of the excess oils. It's also, if you want to kind of reshape your hair, you may not know this, but your hair tends to stay in the position in which it dries. So if you can re-wet it, you can mold it, sculpt it, change the shape. So a lot of times we'll wake up in the morning and our hair will be literally bent out of shape because of the way we slept on it, right? Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So the easiest way to fix it is to wet it, and the best way to wet it is with the mousse because it's going to allow you to shape it, remove excess oils. Dry shampoos they're fun and they can be useful, but they also dry your hair out, so the consequences are terrible. So I would strongly recommend giving this a whirl because I think you're going to love the results. And it's been our most successful product launch in the history of the brand, and we're just finding the versatility of this product to be just absolutely remarkable. So yeah.
So unlike, because I remember, look, I'm 56, so I really experienced the mousse days in the 80s.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you, Boris, I was like half a can of that, and it was scrunching, right? I don't know if anyone can remember the days of scrunching, but you put half a can of mousse in, then you would get it and scrunch it and dry it, and then like this sort of bizarre kind of creation. It really, I have to show you some pictures soon, one of these days.
Yeah. I would love to see it.
Crackly. It was kind of like wire crackly. So this mousse doesn't perform like that at all, does it?
No.
About the styling, talk to us about how it works with the styling.
Yeah, so when you use it in wet hair after washing, still use a leave-in spray. So no matter what, always start with your leave-in conditioner, and then you can follow it with the mousse. Like in your hair, Sophie, I would start with probably 2 pumps. And if you want more fullness from it, the key is to get it into the roots. So you want to really apply it from the roots out. And then if you are going to be curling your hair, it looks like you probably curled your hair a little bit today, possibly, then you would want to get it through the ends because it's going to also hold your curls beautifully. But the hair is going to be really soft. You'll feel a little bit of texture in your hair from the product, which is what we want that texture to be there, because that allows you to create that kind of fuller hair experience. But it's going to feel completely different from anything you used back in the day, so to speak. It's really the evolution of the mousse has arrived.
Oh my God! So everybody, grab yourself a bottle of this mousse. I'm hearing that
it's a must.
The kind of, if you want to, wherever you want to start, you probably want to start with the trio, the starter thing. It's not called Smart Start. It's called
the Healthy Hair Trio.
Healthy Hair Trio. And in the Healthy Hair Trio, you get the Smart Start spray, correct?
Correct.
Now, let me just get my head around this. So we've got the Healthy Care Trio with the Smart Start. So I'm going to shampoo, then I'm going to condition, then when my hair is towel dry or in the shower, I'm going to do the spray, the leave-in conditioner spray, right?
That's right. Yep.
Then comb it through. Then I could add 2 pumps of the mousse.
Yep.
And then I'm going to dry. And if I'm going to do a little bit of a hair, whatever I use, barrel, whatever I use to put a bit of curl in my hair, I'll do that. Or if I'm straightening it. Boris, question.
Yes.
Between the Smart Start spray and the mousse, and first off, quickly, is the mousse good for curly and or straight hair?
Yes, curly or straight. So in curly hair, it's going to give your curls beautiful definition to create beautiful ringlets.
Right.
And in straight hair, it's going to give you that added fullness that most people who have straight hair are looking for. And also, if you want to put in some beautiful curls into your straight hair, this is going to be an amazing product for holding those curls.
And do either or both of those products, the Smart Start leave-in or the mousse, do they protect your hair from heat?
The mousse, actually, they both do. So both the leave-in spray and the mousse will give you heat protection. So if you're going to be using hot tools, for sure use the leave-in spray because that's going to give you the most protection, and then the mousse will help as well.
Boris, when these brands at the store say things like spray protects your hair from up to 450 degrees, is that BS?
It's mostly BS. I would say look, if you apply so if you're using hot tools, the key is to not hold the heat on your hair for too long, because that's how you sort of begin to really damage your hair. So if you are using hot tools, if you're using a blow dryer, often just make sure you've got a lot of movement during that application, and you're not holding that curl there for too long. And I definitely wouldn't go over 425 if you can keep that tool. If you have heat control on your iron, I would keep it under 420, really under 400 if you can.
Okay, cool.
And if you have the right styling product, it'll help you hold the curl, so you don't need as much heat to get the result you're looking for.
Okay, so we're going to rattle through some more questions. So ladies and gents who are watching, remember 20% off site-wide until the end of the day, Wednesday. You're going to use the coupon code SophieLove, all caps. And so just, get to it and start getting your whatever products you're liking the sound of tonight. So one question is, yeah, we've covered the curly hair. One lady said, I lost my hair to chemo, having breast cancer, and now it's a short pixie, growing back darker. Please advise, what would you recommend to keep my hair and scalp healthy and hopefully to continue growing longer?
Well, I would start with choosing a great shampoo, because that's so important to scalp health, because you want to massage the scalp, and when you really thoroughly massage the scalp, you're increasing circulation, and you're also exfoliating. And we certainly don't or can't make any claims to growing hair or helping hair growth, but we do get so many testimonials from users about how the product has helped their hair grow, or that's allowed them to grow their hair longer. So sometimes, we hear from a lot of women who struggle with growing their hair past a certain point, and then when they switch over to these products, they report being able to grow their hair longer. And we really attribute it primarily to the shampoos being extremely helpful to the scalp. They actually work very much like an adaptogen. So if your scalp is, if it leans oily, it's going to help bring it back to normal. And if you lean dry, it's going to bring you back to normal. So really, scalp health is so important to healthy hair growth. And to the person you just mentioned, if really start with, maybe I would recommend Ultra Shine shampoo. That's really the shampoo in our line that I think is going to give you the best results. And again, so many of our users have reported better hair growth from our products, although we can't technically make any of these types of claims. And then also, to Sophie's point at the very beginning, we really are truly what we eat at the end of the day. So really eating extremely healthy, and maybe emulating Sophie's food choices are probably going to help as well. So proper nutrition is really where it all begins.
It all begins there. It
really does.
Yeah, it does. And, for the lady who, I'm sorry, I don't have your name, for the lady who asked that, but, happy healing, from this experience you've been through. And really, as Boris said, it's just nourishing yourself now and nourishing your system from having been through chemo and everything you've been through. So it's just going to be nourishing and healing and nourishing and healing. You're going to do that from nutrition. You're going to do it from sleeping well, from meditating, from all these beautiful practices that you're going to do. And then to use products like, EVOLVh and really healthy skincare that is not going to, obviously be deleterious to your health, doesn't have all those, chemicals in them. And I think, Boris, and a lot of women have mentioned thinning hair here. And I think really what I hear you saying, and is so true, ladies and gents who are watching, Boris can't make a claim, and really nobody can make that claim. You know, if somebody could create a shampoo that was going to grow your hair thick and back and everything else like that, well then, you know, that's a claim that can't be made. And there's many who do make those claims, and many supplements that make those claims. But I think what Boris and I are both on the same page with, both from myself from a nutritional perspective and Boris from you know, a hair care perspective, is look at healthy instead. Healthy hair is, whether it's thinner or thicker or curly or gray or blonde or dyed or not dyed, what we want to try and do is bring your hair back into health, just as much as you want to bring your body back into health. So that's what we're really talking about. And the similarity is exactly the same, because I talk to women all the time, Boris, about not going for the quick fixes, the quick fix weight loss diet, the quick fix this, because it just simply does not work. It never has done, and it never will. And there aren't quick fixes. You know, if you want to be healthy and lose weight, then you've got to really, you know, work from the inside out, and it's an inside out job. And it's the same with hair, and that's really insane. So back to that. I also think back to that thing that we were saying earlier about texture, because it really truly is the texture of your hair. You want this healthy texture, whether you're long, short, gray, dyed, curly, whatever. It's having this beautiful texture. So to that end, could you recap for us on somebody's new to EVOLVh, and or maybe they've been using some of them. So what are they going to start with? What's the recommendation that we should just go and get right now to get us started, to get our hair back to health? And then with the hero product, which I believe is the mousse. So could you just walk us through that one more time?
Yeah. So if you want to get started with EVOLVh products and see your hair experience the best possible condition that it can achieve, then I would start with one of our healthy hair trios, the Cleanse, Treat, Protect systems. You can also choose one of our discovery kits, which also have all of those products. I haven't mentioned them yet tonight, but we offer discovery kits, which is a collection of 4 products. The 3 steps are inside of each discovery kit. So either choose a discovery kit, which are basically 2-ounce sizes of our products, or get the full-size healthy hair trios. Since Sophie has this amazing, very generous code being offered, I would go for the full sizes and maximize that value. You'll never regret it. And it's really, you know, at the end of the day, some of the most important, best solutions in our lives tend to be fairly simple. And I just can't say enough about how they're right, or in this case, how our shampoo, conditioner, and this little spray, these 3 products, they can make such a huge difference. And then of course, add the mousse if you are so inclined. You will certainly love that. But really starting with the right shampoo and conditioner is such a game changer. And I'm really excited to hear from all of you who purchase and who write in or post reviews, because you know, the fun part about having the products out in the market now for a number of years is we know what's going to happen. People use the products to get certain results. It's really very predictable. And so I'm just excited for any of your audience or followers who jump into our brand. They are truly going to be in love. You know, we have so much fun with the letter H in our name, because it can stand for so many things, like healthy. I think tonight we're going to have it be hair heaven. Yeah. So
I love that. Healthy, heavenly hair. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
So, you know, Maureen, I wanted to say, Maureen said she was at her 6-month oncology appointment today. And very impressed with my health, skin, and hair, etc. And she's got a whole food, plant-based all the way. Yeah! Maureen,
that's awesome.
It. And cruelty-free to boot, right? You don't have to worry about any of that. Right. I absolutely love it. So, ladies and gents, as Boris said, because we've got this code, which is 20% off, it really behooves you, if you want to make the switch, to get the full sizes, because I don't know when this is going to happen again, that there's going to be the 20% off. So do get the full sizes, and you really won't regret it. I mean, if you absolutely hate it, I'm sure Boris would say, don't worry, you can have your money back, but you won't. You'll absolutely love it. And there's a color a line for color. There's a line for color treated hair. There's a line for curly hair. There's the basic line. There's the mousse. There's you've even got some skincare, haven't you?
About body care. If you haven't tried our body care, it's incredible. And it's very, I like to say it's not foo-foo body care. This is like real, like skin transformative. It's very reparative. And if you have dry skin or any challenges with kind of skin that's hard to moisturize, try our lotion and our body butter. They are just phenomenal formulas. So we're really known for our hair care. So the body care rarely gets a chance to shine.
It's absolutely beautiful. That body butter is just beautiful treat, and you're not going to get all the perfumes and everything else. So, couple more questions. Is there a site? This is a good question. Nancy asked, is there a site source for asking questions about which shampoo, etc., to use for my particular hair type? If somebody wants to, ask you personally or ask somebody on the site.
Yeah, if you would like a custom consult, you could use our, there's a little window on the site where you can enter a chat room. I don't know if anyone's manning our chat room at this hour, but if we don't get back to you right away, we promise we will get back to you. You can also request a custom consult from our homepage, and there's a form you can fill out that gives us a lot of information about your hair type, your lifestyle, etc. And we will then email you a custom consult or a custom recommendation. So either chat with us or fill out the form. You can find the form right on our homepage, and we can give you that very personalized recommendation for exactly what you need.
That's absolutely wonderful. What a great service. That's fabulous. Great question, because we're almost out of time. What do you suggest to remove build-up, or is it even necessary before switching to EVOLVh?
Our shampoos cleanse extremely well. So if you just shampoo with one of our shampoos, you'll be set.
Perfect. Okay, so what is the biggest, because we saw some questions before this live stream, and one is, which is such a great question, is what is the change your life product from EVOLVh if you had to pick just one?
Wow. Well, if I had to pick just one, I would say it would be the spray, the Smart Start spray. And then start with this. You can jump over to some other versions of this product later as far as other leave-ins that we make. But honestly, that leave-in spray, and this isn't just not my opinion. When I hear from our users, this is what they always, people are always surprised. Like, I never thought, because when you use this, it feels very light. It doesn't feel like anything heavy or oily or anything like that. And people always say, I cannot believe this product does so much, and so that's where I would have to point to. Is
great.
I know,
Up between that, but I would recommend that you go, if you're going to go for it, just try the whole line, because you want to everything, how it all sort of works.
Get the system. If you're unsure, start with a discovery kit. We try, we offer every product we make, well, for almost every product we make, in a travel size, because we just want people to have that opportunity to try different things in the line, because we're so confident they're going to come back and buy the full size. And then this new mousse, I gotta say, is a close second now to that leave-in, because it's such a game changer too for so many people. But really start with that 3-step system. That Healthy Hair Trio comes in this really cool looking box, and has a lot of instructions on it as far as how to use the product. And you'll be so happy you did. Again, another H word, happy. So,
I've got somebody asked, does Moroccan oil coat the hair in the same negative way?
Now it does. Probably when it maybe first launched, the secret oil is the argan oil, which is actually really nice in your hair. But if you look at the ingredients, it's buried now in in a soup of other things you don't really want. So it's not the product that once probably was when it launched. But if you want the benefit of the Moroccan oil, just find a place where you could order pure argan oil, and that is the real Moroccan oil.
Argan oil, and for everybody, because it can weigh the hair down a little bit, and particularly for you that have thinning hair and everything.
But argan oil is the oil from Morocco that brand was built around, and I mean it's a great brand. I don't want to diminish anything they've accomplished, but we're here this is straight talk here. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I said you're very sweet because I know you don't want to throw anybody under the bus.
No, I don't. I certainly don't. But argan oil is the ingredient you really want, and you could find it, and it is beautiful on the hair. So.
Yeah. And finally, speaking on that note, final question is, what about a serum or a balm or something? I know that they're so popular in hair care to the frizzies once you've got your thing. So what would we use for that?
We have what I think is the best one on earth. It's called Wonder Balm. It's become a real cult product within our line. I'm glad you brought this up. So technically the full name is Wonder Balm Magic for Curls, but you can use it for any hair type, and it's an amazing serum. It has ingredients that kind of mimic the behavior of silicone, but it's all plant-based, and it's phenomenal. And what it does is it removes frizz. It also allows you, let's say if you have curly or wavy hair and you want to blow dry your hair really smooth, use the Wonder Balm serum. It's amazing for that. And then if you have curly hair, it's one of those must-have for anyone with curly hair. And if you go to our site, you can read all about it. And
great.
But yeah, Wonder Balm Magic for Curls is an unbelievable serum.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much, Boris.
What a fast hour, Sophie.
It really went very, very quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
It's so fun. It's such kind of work, because so often we're talking about, more, inside things and the nutrition and all of that. But it is lovely just to have a whole hour of talking about hair, right?
I agree. Because at the end of the day, we always say great hair should be fun. It's one of the things I discovered in my mom's hair salon way back when is I saw how emotionally invested people are in their hair. But at the same time, nobody dies. It's just hair at the end of the day. It's not like working in the emergency room. We can have fun and take it seriously, but still have a good time with it. And also, great hair should really be easy, and that's why we created these 3-step systems. We really want to take all the work out of it, make it super easy and super simple. Because the real secret is, if your hair is healthy, it's going to look amazing. And that's really the secret to beautiful hair, is just keep it in great health, both in terms of the products you use and even more importantly, what you put in your body. And then having great hair is just a breeze.
Exactly. It's the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Well, wonderful. Boris, it is so good to see you and see
Thank you for having me.
Having got through this extremely difficult year, as every has. And so it's great to see you looking well, thriving, and bringing a product to us to keep us healthy. You keep us beautiful and healthy. So thank you for
I appreciate that.
Everybody, please, we're going to be sending out an email if you're on my email list. So you are going to get an email that will put the code in and whatnot. So don't worry if you're sort of scrabbling to find that or find links or whatever tonight. It's all going to be put in an email for you. So you'll get that as well. And I believe that's going out tomorrow. So you'll have that in time to make use of the code, which expires on, I believe, Wednesday evening, and then you can even sort of forward it to your friends if they're looking to buy some hair products too. So thank you very, very, very much for being with us. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, everybody. Thank you for joining Boris and I. And don't forget that if you have questions that either you were too embarrassed or shy to ask on the thing tonight, or I didn't get to your question, then you can go to the website tomorrow and, ask your questions and get your consultation and all that good stuff. But thank you. And everybody else, I will see you this time next week.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sophie. Bye, everyone.
Thank you for joining us.